going first?
I don't know.
We're doing joint.
It's just going. It's going. Whenever
Is it
you're
going
ready.
now? Are you sick? I don't know. Are you wanting to watch porn from Mars but unable to?
Where is this going?
Well, with Surfshark, you can watch, or you can trick, should I say, your computer into thinking whatever planet you are on across the universe. You want to watch Shrek 5, but it's only on Jupiter. You can make your computer think you're on Jupiter, and you can watch Shrek 5. And I tell you what, it's 4 hours long, and it's the best 4 hour best 4 hours I've ever had.
Well, you heard it here first.
Jack Met's happy hour.
Depends who's on.
Do you know we should have like an opening question like they have. What's your favourite meal deal, or what's your go-to meal deal? Who's your favourite serial killer? I mean, I've got to be loyal to my local and say the Yorkshire Ripper.
Yorkshire Ripper's a great. You know, that's a. I'm not sure I can do much better than that. He's an absolute classic. I can't lie.
He's a classic. Yeah.
But Ted Bundy. We'll go with Ted Bundy.
Oh,
for now.
you went Ted Bundy. Fair play.
Okay. Moving on.
Are we live? Are we recording?
We are live.
Nice.
We've got it on tape, just in case we forget our favourite serial killers. So, welcome back to. We'll figure out the name later.
Insert name here.
Insert name here. We're gonna continue.
Yeah. We left off from David Tennant's final episode, his regeneration to Matt Smith.
Watched it again last night.
Oh.
Yeah. We're taking our roommate for every single episode, and we just finished David Tennant.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And oh man, feel like I woke up today and I was like, he's gone again.
All those feelings from 12 years ago have come back.
Yeah, it's weird because like you'll say like end of season 1 is Eccleston, but to me the end of David really feels like the first end of the part of a show. You know what I mean? Like after that, the show really changes in something else with Moffat, and then Moffat changes it, then Chibnall changes it into.
I think it was my
something
first
else.
ever heartbreak.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. Anyway, what does Matt have to say? Oh, here's a quiz question for you to do with Matt Smith, actually.
Go for it.
What football team does Matt Smith support?
What football team?
I'll give you a clue.
does
It's a team in the northwest.
The Northwest.
Or towards the northwest.
Liverpool.
No, not that. Try and come a bit deeper into the country.
A bit deeper into the country. Huddersfield.
Okay, that's York. That's north, kind of probably more northeast.
Just tell me.
It's Blackburn Rovers.
I do remember that somewhere. Yeah.
I once, because my grandma knows Matt Smith's grandma and granddad, and
Right.
I because they met on holiday and they've kept in touch ever since, and I once wrote a letter to Matt Smith, and he read it and replied
Huge.
with like a card that I said like a it's the size of like a postcard thing that I signed and then put on the back saying I support, like, because I asked him what football teams to support, and he said Blackburn, and he said we look doomed. And I think they got relegated not long after that.
Let's get him on the podcast. We'll write another letter to him. What I thought could be fun to do today to start off is what if scenarios.
Ooh, okay.
So,
Is it Doctor Who related or just in general?
Doctor Who related.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing what if Hitler won World War II. But maybe we'll do. Here's one that Bruce brought up a lot on Reddit. Yes, Reddit, I see you. What if the Daleks won the Time War?
Well, none of us would be here.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Because yeah, not only would they won that, if they could have won that, then they would have beaten everybody else in the universe.
Yeah. It definitely would have made the universe a lot darker.
We'd be doing this as a tin.
Yeah. The Doctor just hiding in a night of like Dalek suits and just. What if the Doctor regenerated in Journey's End?
Ooh, that was going to be my expectations for the end of the series, but he didn't.
Oh my god. My roommate watched it like yesterday, and I lied to her, and she was like, "I can't believe it's gonna regenerate," and I was like, "I know." Went into the last episode, went into like the second of that two-parter, and I was like, "And for the last time, Alonzi." Proper just lying to her and being like, "Oh, this is the final one.
Yeah.
Get ready to say goodbye to David."
I remember when it happened, and it was like all on like BBC News and stuff, and there was no like leaks of who was going to be the next Doctor. So I was thinking, well, who if it is going to regenerate, who's it going to be? And like, surely
David
they would.
Tennant again,
Yeah.
just in a wig.
Surely they would have warned us.
And Jodie coming through in season 12. Why would they lie?
Saying that the shot that the Doctor took from the Dalek in that episode, the F2 wouldn't have taken, because as the F2 said, we don't take skimmers,
Don't take
Jezza.
skimmers. I mean, it certainly would have changed Matt's perspective on
Yeah.
everything had he just woken up next to Rose and
Yeah.
Captain Jack and Donna and just been like, who the fuck?
Yeah, do it. Have we met?
It's always weird though, isn't it, when we get into that era and then Matt Smith just never talks to anyone ever again and never sees anyone ever again from that era.
Yeah, it's a good point. Because like in like David Tennant, he came across Sarah Jane, who was with the third and the fourth Doctor, so he kind of brought back them. Yeah, it's a shame that nothing. I mean, the only one that you could say is River Song,
Yeah,
but she made one appearance.
and he kind of brings back Unit, and I think there are a couple of recurring characters in there.
Yeah, because isn't it Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart's daughter
Yeah.
or granddaughter?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no big characters. Like, my roommate is watching, again, I'm going to talk about my roommate a lot, but she's watching at the moment, and she expects Rose and Martha and Donna to come back up, and they just never come back up again.
She's gonna be disappointed.
Yeah. So, what else have we got here? What if Christopher Eccleston did one more season?
Oh, that's a very big question. Because if he would have done another series, would it have been David Tennant's first one that he did?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
So are we saying what would it have been like if Christopher Eccleston did that series? I'm not sure if it would have been as good as David Tennant's.
No, I feel like David does a lot to give the episodes that aren't very good a charm that works.
Yeah, it really gives it brings out the personality in the episode. It gives.
Well, Eccleston definitely does a good job as well. I don't know if they would translate as well to him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have loved to see episodes like The Girl in the Fireplace and Doomsday done by Christopher Eccleston.
There was quite a few like emotional episodes and stuff in the first David Tennant one, like Doomsday, The Girl in the Fireplace, the one with the girl where the drawings disappear.
A School Reunion would have been good as well.
Yeah, all those where I feel like Tennant did it spot on, and I'm not sure if Eccleston would have been able to do it like that. Like he did well in the last one where he kind of. Did he cry a bit? I don't know. When he saw Rose in that state.
What if the Time War never happened?
Would we even have Doctor Who?
If the Time War never happened, then Gallifrey would still be about. And how does that change Doctor Who? What the fuck? It changes the new series a lot, doesn't it?
I'm going to say, would that have given him a reason to run away?
I don't really know. I get the impression that he just runs away anyway.
True. I don't know, because that kind of everything that happened in the Time War is what makes him want to save everything. That kind of rage and anger from all that.
Yeah, and I feel like they do such a great job of building it up to season 4 that there's just not the same show without it.
Yeah.
One thing that I kind of never really looked too close into, and I went back when I watched it the other day, I thought, pretty decent ending. What do you make to Martha and Mickey ending up together?
That surprised me, to be fair. When they showed the cutscene of them escaping the Sontaran, I was like, was not expecting that. Like, I want to know how they met.
Yeah, me too. There's a Torchwood episode in there somewhere, isn't there?
Probably. Saying that, was Mickey in the... Mickey was in the Journey's End, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he shot the Dalek that tried to kill Sarah Jane, didn't he? Her and Rose's mum.
Classic Jackie.
But I don't know if Martha and Mickey interacted in that episode.
They do at the very end.
Oh,
like, Mickey walks off with Jack and Martha at the end. You don't really see them talking, and we don't really know what they're saying, but they're definitely like hanging out.
Fairs.
Maybe we should just tell them to fuck off, but you know, they're having a conversation.
Isn't the actor who played Mickey being done for...
Oh yeah, he's he's a wrong one.
yeah, we'll leave it at that. You always say there's a backstory to stuff like that, and I feel like the Doctor leaving him out in all those scenarios in Series 2.
The Doctor knew he was a dick all along. You know, when he talks to Jack in the Utopia episode, he's like, "'Cause you're wrong."
Well, I've just got a notification on Instagram saying, congratulations, you've won an iPhone 13.
Well, I'd buy it.
I mean, well, the thing is, the comment is has also had loads of other people tagged. So really, who has won the iPhone 13?
You fight for it, Squid Game. You all every round when somebody dies, you throw your phone into a basket, and that basket morphs with the phone, make a new phone, and whoever wins all of the rounds makes an ultimate phone, and that is what the Squid Game person wins.
And that is what the iPhone 14 will be.
Sponsored by T-Mobile.
Have you seen that? What's that new Korean show? Is it something to do with Am I Dead or something, or How Am I Alive? I can't remember.
Something like that.
It's got 100% on Rotten Tomato. I know that.
Huge dub.
Yeah. I think my dad's watching it. But anyway, back to actual Doctor Who.
Shall we get started on the episodes?
Oh, go on then. I'll get them up. Right then. Beginning of the series. The 11th hour.
I am very curious to hear what you think about the 11th hour.
It's been a long time since I watched it, so my memory isn't too fond. I can only remember parts of it. But I would give it a... I don't know. I feel whatever I say, you're going to be like, oh, how dare you? I'm going to say 8, maybe 8.5.
That's exactly where I would have put it.
Okay.
Somewhere along there.
Okay. What were you expecting me to say?
I was worried you were going to put it a little bit lower.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
I think it's really good. I think that Karen Gillan is still trying to figure out who Amy is in that episode.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's really good. There's some really clever like editing and directing in that episode as well, you know, and just like trying to figure out what's like Rory's phone, and there's like a snapshot thing where they like rotate around the whole garden trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
It's something that they don't really do for the rest of the series. I'm kind of there like,
is it like
cool
in the house? Is there like a door that they don't go in or something, or like a room they don't go in?
Yeah.
Is that where the crack is?
Yeah. Well, no, the crack's in Amy's bedroom.
That's
it. And there's a room they don't go in where there's goo and a table. How did they get the table in there?
Goodbye.
If it's a room that nobody goes in, how did they order an IKEA table in there?
10 questions scientists still can't answer.
But yeah, 8 to 8.5. I'd give it an 8.5.
I like the way Matt introduced himself because it shows like the hologram of all the doctors, and then he walks through and goes, "I'm the doctor."
Fish fingers and custard as well.
Oh yeah,
absolutely iconic.
Yeah.
when he takes the bread and butter and then flings it out the window. And stay out.
Oh, I forgot about that. I like that.
I just love his like interaction with the food. He's talking about like yogurt and he's like, I hate yogurt. You said you loved it. It's just stuff with bits in it. Yeah, next one.
Next one is called The Beast Below.
That's the one with where the world's ending and the clowns keep turning around and getting madder and madder. Not the clowns, the pay machines, the ticket holders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the woman that's like got a mask on and she's, I don't know who she is, but she's walking around being like, "Yo, doctor, come with me."
Yeah, you're not wrong.
6.
I was gonna say 5.5.
I think it has the really cool, like, concept of whether or not if the world was gonna end, you'd want to know or forget kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only cool episode thing that happened. There's also if I was stretching, if I was reaching, I would be like, it's almost a cool idea for a monster to like be suffering so that Earth could live, because it's kind of like the Doctor, but they don't really do anything with it, and I'm not gonna give it credit for something that they barely go into. So 6.
Fair. Right then. I feel like this one you will put quite low. Victory of the Daleks.
I hate this episode.
I was gonna give it a 7.5, maybe an 8, but I feel like you're gonna give it a 5.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't need to. I don't need to speak.
We'll meet in the middle. We'll go 6.
I just, for an episode that, like the first episode of the Daleks with Matt Smith, it just feels like, I don't know. It feels so strange because the Daleks aren't scary. They don't really do anything important.
Could I get you some tea?
Yeah, and then they're like, "What are we doing here? What's going on?" And then they come out of the fucking Dalek ship looking like Power Rangers, and I'm there like, I don't get it. Why are we doing this?
And there was the scientist who's actually a bomb, was saying how he liked a girl called Polly or something.
I don't mind that part of it, to be fair. That's like, I'll leave it. I don't care. But yeah, I mean, I think even Doctor Who kind of realized this episode was a mistake, because afterwards they kind of go back to the original Dalek design right afterwards.
Fair.
So yeah, 6.
The next one's a 2-parter. The Angels of Time and Flesh and Stone.
I like this 2-part.
Same. I would say 8 or 8.5. I think.
I'd go 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah, I really like this episode. River comes back. River's always a joy.
Oh yeah, true.
I really like the cliffhanger of the first part when the Doctor uses the gun to shoot the gravity globe.
Yeah.
But he never put in a trap. Me. Tap. Yeah. Here for it.
And what's that, sir? Yes, Angel Bob. So what is 8.5 for that? For the
Yeah,
that story, yeah.
And the Doctor gets him to talk about comfy chairs.
The Vampires of Venice.
7?
Yeah, I think 7's
Yeah.
fair.
That's just a fun story. Nothing too bad about it.
Is that the first one when we get introduced, or something gets mentioned about the silence? I think. I think one of the vampires, the lead one, the actress who's in Peaky Blinders who's died.
Might be.
I think she said something about the silence, and then as Rory and the Doctor are getting in the Tardis at the end, the Doctor says, "Can you hear that?" And then Rory says, "It's just silence." And then there's like a voiceover or something, I think.
I think they mention it slightly in the Angels episode as well. I don't remember why though. Maybe they do.
Oh, did the is that what the Angels
after
were
the
from?
TARDIS leaves though, I think they mention silence will fall or something like that. I don't remember. That episode has so many different.
Next one. So what did we say for that episode?
7.
Seven, yeah. The next one is another 2-parter. The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood. Somewhere Rory disappears at the end and everyone forgets about him except the Doctor.
6.5.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I just feel like it's a bit boring, and I don't think it warrants its two-parter.
Part 1's actually quite good, I think, but part 2 could have been better.
Yeah.
Patreon notification. Vincent and the Doctor.
Love this episode.
I'd give it an 8, but I think you're gonna give it a 9.
Yeah, I am. I don't know why I talk.
But you know what? Because it is good. I'll go up to the 9 with you.
Huge dub. The ending is pog as hell, iconic. Yeah.
It's a nice ending.
Vincent is incredibly good in this episode.
Vincent Company plays an amazing role.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. Can't get past him, the chicken. And I love that, like, Amy's just lost Rory, and like she's talking to Vincent about him, and they're like consoling each other, kind of thing. It's really great. I love this episode.
Yeah, because there's a bit in it where she starts crying and she didn't even know, and he's like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, I don't know.
I'll paint you some flowers. It'll be fine. Yeah, love that episode. What's next?
I'm interested to see what you say about this one. The Lodger. This is the one with James Corden.
8.
I'm trying to remember what happens towards the end.
Towards the end, they both try. We discussed this last
that's
episode, and the James Corden destroys the ship with the power of the love.
Is it in a shopping centre though?
No, that's the second one. That's the one in season 6.
Oh, how do they find the one this time?
They find it by just going upstairs.
Oh. 7.
7.5 then. I'll go with 7.5. Yeah. I like the comedy in that episode.
And then the last 2 episodes, the Pandorica opens and the Big Bang.
What do you make of this one?
8.5, 8. I'm happy to go with either 8.5 or 8.
Yeah, I'm around there. I mean, a lot of people get really disappointed with that one, but I think it's fun.
I liked the cliffhanger.
Yeah, me too. But I think the cliffhanger was a little misleading for what the second part was.
Yeah, I
It
think
kind of
yeah.
seemed like he was about to like take on every alien at once, and then it comes through and he's like, "Well, we have one Dalek."
Yeah. Yeah, and that managed to get him, so God knows what it would have been like if all of them went through.
Yeah, but I like this episode. I think it's really fun. 8.5. We'll go with that.
What's that quote from Toy Story 3? Spends the night in the box.
And I like the whole how it feeds back into something borrowed, something new, and something blue at the end.
You didn't even know it.
With Amy. Yeah, I like that at the wedding. That's cool.
Yeah, Amy died, did. But then she didn't die. Yeah.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. Yeah, cool finale.
I can't remember what happens in this one. So the next one's the Christmas Carol.
Okay.
A space linear containing 4,000 people and Amy Pond and Rory on their honeymoon becomes caught in the electrified cloud. The Doctor, summoned by Amy, lands on the planet beneath and discovers that the atmosphere is controlled by the miserly Kazran Sardik, who refuses to let the ship safely land. The Doctor travels back to Kazan's youth and attempts to alter his past to make him kinder egg. Spending time adventuring with young Kazran and young woman named Abigail, who was released from what happened? I don't know.
So basically, it's a Christmas Carol.
But I can't remember what happened in the episode. That's not the one with the tower, is it?
Basically, this guy is like, "Yo, I don't really like you, Doctor." The Doctor's like, "Why are you a dick?" So he goes back in time and he figures out why he's a dick. And then he goes back to the present And he's like, oh, so this is why you're a dick. And then he goes back to the future and he's like, so stop being a dick. Then he goes back to the present and since he's taken the guy through to see it all, the guy is like, maybe I should stop being a dick.
Maybe if I saw the trailer, I might recognize it.
Oh, and they both, there's a giant whale in that episode as well.
Oh, I vaguely remember it.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, I think it says a lot you didn't even remember it.
Yeah. The next one is a 2-parter, I think. Yeah.
It's just season 6 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Impossible Astronaut and Day of the Moon. So that's the one where the Doctor gets shot. And we get introduced to the silence for the first time.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to go with 9.
Oh, I was going to go 8.5. But if you're going to say 9, yeah, I'll go 9. I was worried you were going to go like 6, and I was like, but it was really good.
I really love this episode.
Same.
This is my favourite episode of season 5. Sometimes when I'm watching Matt Smith, I'll just watch this 2-parter and then skip to the next season.
You know what? Yeah, I'm actually, I agree with you, 9. Yeah, 9.
The scene where he's in the Oval episode, when he's in the Oval office, comedy gold. I love it.
Oblong room. Or
the
the bit
12 Jammy Dodgers and a fez.
the bit where Amy goes into the toilet, sees the silence. That woman comes out the toilet, sees the silence, looks back at Amy, forgets, and she keeps getting shocked. She's like, "Oh, we didn't see you there. Is that you, Dan?" Looks back at Amy, like, "Oh, is that you, Dan?"
And I really love the start of the series being, how is the Doctor gonna avoid death? I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Cool concept. Cool episodes.
Cool.
And it really sets up River really well as well, even though we don't realise it at the time. 9 good episodes.
Yeah. Now a bit of a dip. The Curse of the Black Spot.
Oh shit.
4.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
The thing is, though, watching it, I can tell it's filmed in a studio. Like
Yeah.
the external bits on the boat, I can tell it's filmed in a studio.
It's bad.
Oh yeah,
It's bad.
The Doctor's Wife.
I like this one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I was gonna give it a 6.
I really like this one.
Why? What would you say?
8.5.
I'll meet you in the middle. 6.5. I'll go up to 7.5 for it.
Thank you.
Oh, the next one's a 2-parter. The Rebel Flesh and the Almost People.
7.5.
I'll go 7.
I like the concept. I just feel like, but what's the name of that really annoying girl?
I don't know. We'll just call her the annoying girl.
Rory.
The racing car.
Just like she chases him around the entire episode, and I'm just kind of like, if you weren't here, this episode would be better.
Yeah, it just feels weird. Like a bath, like fills up with like what looks like milk, and then people get out of it. Yeah, it's a bit. Reminds me of the Sontaran episodes.
One thing that I do really like, I like it when the Doctor kind of splits himself in 2, and then Amy's like, well, you're not the real Doctor. And it's like, well,
you know what they should
stop
do?
being a dick.
They should have done the Spider-Man meme where they point at each other.
Then they swap shoes to make Amy think that the right one is the wrong one, the right one. Oh, quality Doctor moments. I like that. But yeah, the actual like story, yeah, not fun. 7.
A Good Man Goes to War.
Now, are we going to disagree here? Because I don't really like this episode.
I was gonna be kind and give it an 8.
I think it's a 7.
Yeah. I think what makes this episode good is the music and the reveal at the end. That's it.
Yeah, but I would argue that the reveal has basically nothing to do with the story.
True. It's the music, really. The soundtrack at the end as the reveal. That's the bit I love.
That scene in of itself, on its own, as an isolated incident,
Yeah.
top tier.
I think it's called Melody Pond. That soundtrack.
But, like, as an episode, to get everyone back The Doctor calls in all of his favours to go to war, and the war is over in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. If it were a two-parter, I would have been like, you know what, this would be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does. It pretty much just gets everyone he owes that everyone owes him a favour just to threaten to go to war with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the start of the 4 monsters that I don't really love. You know, the Centauran, the Silurian, the Jenny, or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I don't really love them, and this is kind of like that origin story.
One. Yeah. Wasn't that Centauran from like one of the David Tennant ones with Martha and Donna?
Yeah.
I think he was the one that led everyone into the unit base. Oh no, he died. Oh, never mind. I don't know. Anyway, let's kill Hitler.
Don't like this episode.
3.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
And that I feel nice giving it a 3.
Like, River just doesn't feel right in this episode.
Yeah.
She feels like she's written by somebody else that doesn't quite know what. I think it was written by Stephen Moffat, but it just doesn't. It's just weird.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Like, she doesn't feel like the same person.
Mm.
And yeah, to get Hitler in an episode and it be boring is some kind of accomplishment. I should congratulate them because I don't understand.
Yeah, they really managed to disappoint there.
Yeah, not a fan. I feel like they needed a way to bring in the cyborg people to make the series make sense at the end and tie everything back together.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't really have a good way to do it, and this is the story they chose.
This next one's a bit of a creepy one, and I'm interested. I feel like this one will be like a mid one for you. Night Terrors. I'd say 8.
I would go lower. I like the monsters in this episode. I just don't really like the story.
It's a bit, yeah, the story could have been better, but the whole villainous concept of being trapped in that doll's house or whatever it is, I really liked. But the fact that the way they stopped it is just by getting that George to say that he's not scared of him anymore.
Can I drag you down to a 7?
Yes.
Like, it is a cool concept. I'll give you that. It's a very cool concept.
It could have been a lot better, I think.
Yeah.
The Girl Who Waited.
7.5.
This is the one where it's the 2 Amy's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 7.
I feel like this is like, it's really, really on the edge of being great, but there's just stuff here and there that I'm there like, don't like that.
I feel like this
Don't
one,
like that.
this one was made to be like an iconic emotional episode in like Matt Smith's era, but
It just doesn't hit.
yeah. What rating did we give it?
7.5.
Oh, okay.
Like, I talked about this last podcast, and if you didn't see that, you should click this button right here. And yeah, there's this moment where they both kind of like decide to stop being miserable because they both love Rory, and I'm like, this just feels like they didn't know what to do. I don't know. Yeah. Not sure. Not sure.
This next one I actually really like. It's a bit of a creepy one, but I really like it. The God Complex.
I like this one as well.
I want to give it a 9.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
It's got David Williams in it, hasn't it?
Has it?
Yeah, David Williams is in it. Yeah, he's the annoying character that somehow survives.
He is the annoying character that has to try. I'll tell you what. 8.5. 8.5.
Okay, I'll go to an 8.5. Oh. Yeah.
Alright, fine. 9. We'll give it a 9.
The last 2 episodes. Closing Time, The Wedding of River Song.
Okay, so Closing Time is the James Corden episode where he's in the store.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. So, yeah, the Closing Time, yeah. That makes sense, yeah. No.
What do you reckon to Closing Time?
6.
Yeah, that's fine by me. Yeah.
We're still recording, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah. Just making sure it didn't go off like last time. The Wedding of River Song.
To me, this is the first real bad finale.
I agree.
Yeah. Because while it works in the idea that it goes back and it saves the Doctor, it doesn't feel like a finale for some reason. It just feels like another episode.
Yeah. I think we mentioned it before, yeah.
Yeah. And I really like the concept of being in a world where all time takes place simultaneously, but they don't do enough with it to make it feel like it works. Like, the entire time they spend in this world where all time's happening simultaneously, they're just fighting the silence again, but in a way less interesting way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. 7.
I was between 6.5 and 7, but if you go 7, I'll go with that.
Yeah. I feel like there are enough moments in there to drag it up for me. Like the moment where Matt Smith is trying to get Amy to remember, like, all of the times they had together, and Amy's just got all the drawings in the background, and she already, like, she's already there.
I remember you, Raggedy Man.
He's there holding a Tardis, like, you need to remember.
And then River Song just happens to be walking past the wedding at that time as well.
Imagine. Yeah, I'm done with that. Next series.
Oh my god, I'm trying. This is where, like, my memory of what happens in this series will just go out the window. The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Wait, is that, oh no, that might be a Christmas one, I think.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And I think I remember what this one is, and I'm giving it a 2.
What is it?
I think it... Like do you know in like Narnia when they go through the wardrobe and they're in the snowy setting?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, and then it ends up going up a tower or something.
I don't remember. And I remember all of Doctor.
But instead of going through a wardrobe, I think they go in a present.
This is not ringing anything for me. I have no idea what you're on about.
It's a 2. And I'm being nice. I think we'll remember this one. Asylum of the Daleks. Does this one start off where they get captured by the Daleks?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the first Clara episode.
Indeed.
Shout out to her.
A Clara who? A Clara what?
I think it does a good job with Clara, but I don't know if it does a good job with Amy and Rory in this episode.
Is it Amy that like has this like weird dream or something in it where she sees people doing like, dancing and stuff? I think she gets drugged by like something that's in the air or
yeah, know. It is Amy. Yeah. She instead of thinking everything's a Dalek, she thinks everything's like dancing and stuff.
Yeah,
because she gets like hit by a Dalek thing. A lot of people have an issue with the concept of the Dalek Asylum in the first place, which, you know, the more I watch it, the more I kind of agree with, because, you know, the Daleks put all their faith in Dalek Khan in season 4. Who was a fucking mess.
You had a rough night.
And, like, I don't know, just, like, the Daleks having just a place, a retirement home for all of the mentally challenged Daleks. Just
ever since Journey's End, any episode with the Daleks, I think, it's been a bit meh.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it I do really like the twist though, where we figure out that Clara is actually a Dalek and she's not aware of it. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
I was gonna give it 7.5.
That moment there is like the only reason I sometimes go back and watch it. That and the fact that Clara is quite funny in that episode.
What she wanted to constantly make?
Soufflés.
That's it. Soufflés, yeah.
And she like has nicknames for like Rory and the Doctor as they talk on the phone, on the radios. It's funny. The nose and the chin.
I only remember tiny. I hardly remember. Literally, I can hardly remember anything about this episode except when the dinosaurs come out the lift, and it's dinosaurs on a spaceship.
Oh, there's 6, 5.
5. I'll just go with your gut because I can't really remember it being good.
5.5. What the phrase in this episode? just turns up and he's like, I want to kill your Egyptian girl. All right, I'm out of this episode. I don't really care.
A town called Mercy. Cannot remember anything about this episode.
This is the one with the cyborg western.
I remember the concept, but I can't remember what stuff that happened.
Okay, so there's this bloke. Have you watched Gavin and Stacey? Do you remember the guys called from Gavin and Stacey?
Going about Gavin.
No, Pete from Gavin and Stacey.
I can't remember.
Okay, so Pete's in this episode, and he's like a scientist who experimented on people, and then his ship crashes in Mercy, the town. But the cyborg that he was working on escapes and starts murdering people in a bid to try and kill Pete. And so the doctor comes through, and he's like, "Yo, shall we just kill this scientist who's an absolute monster to save the town, or do we try and kill the cyborg because he's on the loose?"
Because you're worth it.
Plot twist. He doesn't do either. And Pete ends up dying anyway, and the sheriff and the cyborg becomes the new sheriff of Mercy in the end.
Alright. Fair play.
It's like a 7.
Oh, okay. I'll just take your word on it because I can't remember anything about it.
There's this cool moment where the doctor like drags Pete over to like the edge of the town and like holds him at gunpoint and is like, "Yeah, I want to fucking kill you." And then Amy like gets a gun as well and just starts shooting in the air. She has no idea what she's doing.
Is the episode about Mercy, or is the actual place where the town is actually called Mercy?
The place is actually called Mercy.
Oh, fair enough. What happened to this one? The Power of the Three.
This is the one with the cubes.
Oh, is it?
5.
To start off with, 8.5. In the end, 4.
Yeah.
So average is that 4.5.
Yeah. You're not wrong. It's an episode that has a really cool concept of some alien cubes going down to the floor, and you're like, well, what's this? Like, building them into something great, and then like, it doesn't. Yeah. This is my issue with season 7. It just has a lot of really forgettable stuff, and on the endings, but we'll get to the endings. But the endings are good, and then like you have loads of forgettable episodes in between. So this series is bad.
I feel like from like this series, or maybe even the series before, the episodes have been more about the meaning behind the story rather than what's happening in the story.
Yeah.
Like that one, like the whole Power of the Three, it's to do with stuff like, oh, everyone's got like Alexas or something now, and you don't actually know what their purpose is, but you've just been told
It's about surveillance.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like that. I mean, Alexa could be a bomb. You never know. We've got 3 in our house, so I'm fucked.
No, always read the product description. Always read the user manual.
The Angels take Manhattan.
9.
Yeah. I do agree with you, but I don't like watching it because it upsets me.
Yeah. It's one of those that is very hard to watch because it's good. It hurts. It maybe is the only other episode apart from Blink that I think really gets across the fear of the angels well. While I really like the time of angels and like the whole one in the cave, I feel like the concept of that doesn't really make us fear the angels as much. It's kind of more about let's just get to a place. But this one, I'm scared again, and I like it, and we lose people, and it hurts, and 9.
River Song's in it as well, isn't she?
Yep. This is the moment where the doctor's like, was like crying, and the river's just there like, I'm just sad. And the doctor's like, this is your mum and dad. Oh shit, I'm a badgie.
Does she even know at that point it's her mum and dad?
Yeah. Yeah, because she knows in the season 5 finale, doesn't she? Season 6
She does, but I'm just thinking like the whole timeline, because hers is a bit different to the Doctor's.
Oh, yeah.
So he's just given a plot twist away before she even knew.
Spoilers!
Yeah. Next one. The Snowmen.
5.
I can't remember what happened.
So Clara is a barmaid, and she is babysitting these children. Doctor comes through. The snow is killing people. You know, you talked about the last podcast about the snow taking over a city in a classic series.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like the newer try at that, and it's fine.
Okay.
Then Ice Lady comes out of a lake in like this the rich people's front yard and tries to kill them all. She's also kind of a nightmare as well. It's not clear whether she was a real person or the child's nightmare that then came through as a frozen lady trying to kill them all.
Fair play, fair play.
But yeah, it serves as another introduction to Clara, and the reveal that Clara is happening in different times of time and space.
Okay. I don't remember the episode, so I'm going to leave the rating up to you here.
5.5.
Fair enough. Sounds like it. The Bells of St. John.
Oh, 5.5 again.
Yeah.
Alex Hunter's in this episode. You'll
Yeah.
get your chance.
What the actual actor who plays Alex Hunter?
I think so.
Oh, there. You'll get your opportunity, Hunter.
He's either in this one or he's in the Peter Capaldi episode that has the exact same plot. I always get them confused.
All right.
I think I said this last podcast as well. I'm still not sure.
Nice motor, mate. See, should never have missed that penalty when he was a child. Rings of Akatan.
5.
What happens? I've forgotten.
This is the one with the leaf.
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific.
Okay, so Clara's parents meet because a leaf hits her in the face. And this leaf, they say for ages. And they're like, yo, this leaf is the reason that we met. So, fast forward to the episode, the Doctor and Clara are trying to convince something to stop killing everyone. And they use the leaf to do that.
I'll take your word for it. What are you giving it?
5.
Fair enough. Yeah, and that sounds like you're being nice.
I am.
Cold War. Is this the one with the? This is the one with the ice warrior,
Yep.
isn't it? In the submarine.
Yep.
I vaguely remember this one, and I'll probably give it a 7. Maybe 7.5.
7.
7.
I don't really remember it that well.
I remember it was actually all right, to be fair. Right, another one where I'm gonna have to familiarise myself. Hyde.
Hyde is the one where the Doctor and Clara go ghost busting.
Ooh, that has got my head thinking, because I'm starting to remember this one now. And any episode like that, I tend to like.
Yeah, I'm thinking 7.58.
You know, I'll agree with that, because I remember it was actually all right, to be fair.
I'm not sure which one to go.
Because I can't remember it too well. I'll trust your instinct. And
I feel like we've been quite mean to the series so far. So let's be nice and give it an 8.
give it an 8. Journey to the Centre of the Tardis.
Oh.
Is this the one where we find out that she goes back into the Doctor's past and stuff?
No.
Okay, never mind.
This is the one where Clara figures out that the Doctor has met her before. And she gets attacked by different versions of them or something.
Okay.
So there's these mechanics who pull the TARDIS in by mistake. One of them's an android, but we figure that out later. And they come into the center of the TARDIS and they explore to try and fix it. And they get attacked by lava versions of themselves.
Okay.
7.
But I'll trust your instinct.
The thing is, there's some really cool concepts in here. We go to the Doctor's Gallifrey room, and it's cool. And the idea that Clara would figure out that the Doctor has met him before and that while being lost in the TARDIS is cool. The idea that the Doctor would that they would be chased by versions of themselves in different time zones is cool. but it just doesn't work together somehow. And I'm like, there are ingredients here that are dope, but they just don't work. I'm like, I really wish this episode was good because I think it's a really great concept.
I'm getting really sick of you. So what you giving it then?
7. Like, I really wish I didn't have to give it a 7. But this is also like indicative of the problem with Clara and Matt for me, because in this episode they feel like they're a couple, and it doesn't work for me. The guy is like 950 at this point. Stop holding her hand.
She's practically just left school. So the next one is Crimson Horror.
2. This episode's
Now I can see the names here where it says Strax, Jenny, and Vastra investigating the
2.
bodies. I'll agree with what you said.
Okay, so this episode is about a town where there's a disease called the Crimson Horror, and they're trying to. What are they trying to do again?
I don't know.
This episode's really bad. You know, just take my word for it. I ain't gonna try and explain it because I don't really remember it very well. I just remember it being awful.
What's this next one? Nightmare on Silver Street.
This is the Cybermen episode, where the
More specific.
where the Doctor finds a cyber version of himself and then plays chess with him.
I think I must have stopped watching.
So they go to the moon. Clara takes the kids that she's babysitting at the time.
Okay.
And they find some Cybermen who are quicker than the Doctor usually finds the Cybermen. And then the Cybermen keep upgrading, and they have to try and defend the moon from these really quick Cybermen.
They should go part the bus.
They should. They do, in fact. They go all out defense. And then the Matt Smith gets infected by cyber virus and plays chess with him and wins, and all the Cybermen leave.
Okay. Well,
it's not awful, to be fair. The episode.
it's not amazing, but this trick shot is.
Yeah. Warwick Davis is in the episode as well.
Oh, I definitely can't remember it.
7.
The name of the Doctor. Now this is the one where she goes back in the.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a bit of fluff. I vaguely remember this one, so I'll give it a 6.5, 7. From what I can remember.
7.5.
Okay.
I think. It's definitely one of the more interesting ones of the season. Things actually happen.
The thing is, after this, I don't think I've got a clue.
I'll just do a lot of the talking then.
So, like, it might just be a one-person podcast after this now.
Wait, what about the other ones of that series?
That was it.
But there's still the Day of the Doctor and the Time of the Doctor. The Day of the Doctor being the 50th anniversary with David. Yeah. So what would you give that?
7.5.
I really love the 50th anniversary. I think it's near perfect.
Fairs.
So, can I push you up to at least an 8?
Yeah, go on then.
And the Time of the Doctor, the one where he regenerates.
I don't really remember that one.
Okay, so the Doctor goes to Trenzalore with handles.
Okay.
And they figure out that this planet needs protection. So the Doctor becomes an old granddad with handles.
Is this the one where he defends the town?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it now, yeah.
It's a good ending.
8. No,
Okay.
7.5, 7.5. You want to push me to an 8, don't you?
I want to push back
yeah,
to an
okay,
8.
I'll go back to an 8. I'll go back to an 8.
Just the look of my face when you went so now I was like
I'll go back to 8. Oh, we see the return of the crack.
Love the crack. Where you been, mate? Okay, so now we go on to Peter Capaldi's era, and you don't know many of these episodes anymore.
I don't, and I need to quickly charge my phone because it's on the verge of running out.
I have a charger.
Oh, no, it's fine. I've got a charger. Just need to plug it in.
Okay, cool. Alright, I'll keep people occupied while you do that.
Tell them about our sponsor.
Oh, okay. Today's sponsor is... what's the last app I downloaded on my phone? WhatsApp.
MMOGA.
Look at the description!
You're looking for some coins, you sons of bitches.
Check out the new reliable source.
MMOGA. Link in the description.
And you're back.
And you're back. Just put that in airplane mode. Charge is quicker.
Okay, I can do them on my phone from now on if you want.
Okay. So, Peter Capaldi's first series, there'll be some episodes where I'm like, oh yeah, I know that one, I know that one, I know that one. But after that, shit, you're on your own.
That's fine. Okay. Season 8, episode 1.
Yeah.
Deep breath.
What happens?
So a dinosaur is attacking the city. The doctor is in his room and he's mad about things.
Grr.
The four what are they called? The four people that the Santara and
We'll call them JLS.
okay, so JLS the JLS are there and they're talking to Clara about how she's not allowed to be prejudiced about regenerations. But he's not hot anymore. And yeah, it's definitely an episode.
I don't remember it, so I'm leaving this one up to you.
5.5.
Ooh.
It's really not good.
Ooh.
ASMR starting now.
Ooh.
Into the Dalek. So.
It's a weird porno.
Should see the bloopers. So, the Doctor and Clara go shrink themselves into a Dalek in a bid to kill it, but then they realize the Dalek might actually be good now.
He's a good boy. I vaguely remember this one. It was actually alright.
6.5.
Oh, I was going to say 7.
6.5.
6.5, okay.
Robot of Sherwood. So, Clara really wants to meet Robin Hood.
I think I do remember this one.
This is a solid 7.5 for me.
Yeah, I
like
agree with
one.
this. It was alright actually. Yeah.
I like the idea that the Doctor doesn't think that Robin Hood can be real, and even though he is the most myth person I've ever seen in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool episode. Huge dub. 7.5.
Agree.
Now I get to my favourite of the season.
Okay.
Maybe joint favourite of the season.
Touché.
Listen.
I am listening. Yeah, what is it?
It's called Listen.
What happens in it? Yeah, because that's what I'll need to just remember.
So, it's about a monster that is really great at hiding. So great at hiding that nobody even knows what it looks like. And nobody ever finds out.
Okay.
And they go into Danny's past and meet him as a kid.
Danny?
Yep, Danny Pink. Clara's boyfriend.
Okay.
The soldier boy.
Soldier boy, hit it. Whoa, watch me crack, now watch him roll.
And they see him as a child and they help him from having nightmares. Then they go to his future and he's like an astronaut or some shit. And they're like, yo, Danny, how come you're all here alone, this planet? And he's like, don't go to sleep. This place is fucked, G. And then they go back to normal time and yeah, Clara has to eat another meal because she ate on the Tardis. It's actually really good.
I will leave this one up to you because I cannot remember anything about this one.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I cannot remember.
Time heist.
Time heist. Remind me of this one.
So, Clara, the Doctor, a cyborg man, and a shape-shifting woman try and do a heist on a bank to save an alien.
I thought I remembered it, and now you've just said that. I don't.
This is alien that can sense your thoughts and then turn your brain into soup.
Good soup.
He actually says it like that as well. He's like, soup.
Good soup.
It's going to be soup. What was that? So, it's fun. I like it.
I thought I remembered this one, but nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, I like this one. I like the twist that, the Doctor isn't actually robbing a bank, because why the hell would the Doctor want to rob a bank? And he's actually just in it to try and save an endangered species that's being locked inside the bank. Huge, dub, nice work, 8.
Yes, I'll agree. I'll nod.
I almost said 8.5, and then I stopped myself halfway through, and I was like, no, that's right.
Yeah.
The Caretaker. This is just awesome, just to see your confused face every time I see an episode title.
I've just clocked. I swear we never rated the episode with the Dream Lord.
We didn't. Did we miss any others from that season?
I mean, we talked about it the other day, but I can't remember.
Amy's Choice. Here it is.
Yeah, it's Amy's Choice.
Between Vampires of Venice and The Hungry Earth. What are you saying?
9. Fine, 8.5.
8.5. Okay, back to the Caretaker. I really like the Dream Lord episode. I do. I just don't think it's a 9.
Back to the Caretaker episode. The Dreamland.
I feel like I have to explain why I downgraded it. There's a lot of time spent in an elderly home.
Yeah.
The Caretaker is about the Doctor becoming a caretaker in Clara's school to try and stop robot wars.
Oh yeah. No, I don't ring a bell.
It's a 6.5.
I'll take your word for it there.
It's maybe a 7. 6.5. 7. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
I think it's fun. What did I give the Robin Hood episode?
Give it a 7.5. Or an 8.
I don't know. I don't know how I'm rating this anymore.
I think it was 7.5.
Kill the Moon. This is the episode. If you've seen this episode, you remember you've seen this episode, because this is the one where the moon turns out to be an egg.
I remember. And I think, from what I can remember, 7.5 or 8.
I feel like you're a lot more lenient than me. Because this episode is not a 7.5.
Fine, 6.
7.
Okay.
It's about 7.
7.
Because, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. They find out the Earth is an egg, but they have to decide whether or not to nuke the moon or not. Which, in of itself is, I don't really want to. Moving on.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this episode. Let's talk about a good episode.
Okay.
Mumming on the Orient Express.
I hardly remember this one, but from what the concept and from what I can remember, I'll give it a 7.5, maybe an 8.
I'll take an 8.
Okay.
Maybe an 8.5. Yeah, a mummy comes onto the train. 66 seconds, it kills every person, and the Doctor has to try and find out what it is, how to stop it in 66 seconds of each person's death, and it is pretty fun. Clara is having this like identity thing where she's like, I don't really want to travel with the Doctor anymore, except she does, and and everyone on the train is like, yo, Doctor, do you like have a heart? Because like every time he's there, like, so you're gonna die, but tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? What do you mean? Like, we should mourn the last person that died. And Doctor's like, we don't have time. But yeah, it's good. I like it.
But is it quite Carlin?
Yeah, 8.
There's.
It's a cool episode. Flatline. This is the one where the TARDIS gets really small.
I remember. I thought it was to do with flat earthers for a moment, but I do know what you remember now. 8. Maybe 8 and 8.
It's an 8.
8, yeah.
In the Forest of the Night.
I don't remember.
This is the episode where London becomes a forest.
Oh, this was shit for me.
It's shit. This is so shit.
1.
Yeah. 1.5.
And that's because I have to give it a rating. If I didn't, I wouldn't even rate it at all.
So bad.
So bad.
Oh, Lord.
How did that make it to television?
Fucking Maeve, man. That was the name of the child. Oh, my God. Your face.
So bad.
Dark Water. This is where we meet Missy.
Okay. I don't remember.
Danny Pink gets run over.
I mean, it's a shame.
I can tell you you grew to love him as much as, you know.
I can't remember what he looks like. Do you want one?
I'm alright.
Alright.
And then Clara tries to steal the TARDIS. She goes round and gets all the keys out of the TARDIS and then like goes to a volcano and starts chucking them out and it's like, go and save Danny.
Selfish bitch.
And then it turns out the Doctor made her hallucinate all that because he's the Doctor.
Yeah.
And then they go and try and save Danny because it feels like it. And turns out he's in a cyber hell, kind of.
Oh, I remember the very end when she reveals she's Missy.
I like this episode. I don't love it. 8.
I'm leaving this up to you.
8. Yeah, I'm giving it an 8.
Is that including part 2?
Yeah. Yeah, they're both the same. Same story. 8. There's this really cool thing at the end where the Doctor and Clara like let each other go kind of thing. They kind of both think they kind of want to leave the other person and then lie to each other and in order to let them both. Will you fucking trying to record in here?
He literally says Mike Live as well above the door.
Yeah, really good ending to the season in my opinion. 8. Let's move on.
Hey. Oh. Let's go.
Season 9.
I ain't got a clue.
You're just here for the ride at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point we'll go and do like the classic seasons, and you can just
We'll be here a long time.
you can just talk me through what happens. The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar. I don't like this two-parter. Davros is back. And we talked about this last podcast as well.
You did, yeah.
And 7. Yeah. No. 6.5. 7.
Going once, going twice.
7. Under the Lake and Before the Flood.
I remember those. Well, I remember part 1.
7.
I'm going to say from part 1, I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, it's 7. The Girl Who Died. I want to go back and talk about Under the Lake. So they have this cool thing where they talk about
Is this one set in the past? Is in like
Under the Lake is set.
no, the girl who's dead.
Yeah, that's the one that's set in like Viking era.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay, I talk about Under the Lake for a second. So this is the one that does like the bootstrap paradox.
What?
So the bootstrap paradox is okay, I'm gonna go through and explain it. Pretty much like Doctor Who it is. So if you've seen this, you can skip this. It's fine. So, Beethoven goes. So this guy goes into the past to try and find Beethoven because he wants him to sign all of his sheet music, but he can't find Beethoven anywhere. And he's like, "Yo, what the fuck? I want to see Beethoven. Where's the prick?" And then, he's like, "But what are we gonna do? If this is a world without Beethoven, I don't really want to be in it." So then, he goes, "You know what? Why don't I take the sheet music I've got here, copy it out, redo it, and boom, Beethoven exists again. But now he's Beethoven. But the question is, where did the sheet music originally come from? If Beethoven never existed."
He created it, didn't he?
It's one of those ones where he kind of the paradox kind of creates itself based on an object that can't exist but does simultaneously, kind of thing. And the episode does it really well, in my opinion, and I like it. 7. I feel like I bigged it up a lot and then 7. The girl who died. Maisie Williams is in the show now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's fine.
My dad's met her.
Has she? Has she?
Has she? Yes. She has met my dad. It was at the airport.
No way.
They were in the queue at the airport, and she was in front of him.
And she met your dad.
She met my dad.
I dream of meeting your dad. Yeah, I don't love this episode.
6.5.
Yeah. It starts a cool concept though. The woman who lived. So this is the one afterwards, set in a time afterwards. Fucking cares, man. This one might even be worse.
I don't think I remember this one.
Maisie Williams is now robbing people with this other guy, and he gets hung, kind of, maybe. The doctor stops it by telling jokes. And then Maisie Williams teams up with a devilish creature from another world in order to time travel because the doctor won't take her. And he stops her, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Nice.
It's a 6 at best.
I was waiting.
5.5.
Okay.
5. It's going down.
Yeah, going once, going twice.
5.5. We'll go with that. The Zygon invasion and the Zygon inversion.
Inversion.
Yeah, that's what the 2 parts are called. The invasion and the inversion.
Between 8 and 8.5.
8.5.
Okay.
I like this episode. These episodes. These are fun. I like the idea that Clara, when she's taken by a Zygon, isn't really dead. She's kind of just in the back seat, like a split personality disorder kind of thing.
Do you think it's dead?
Do you think it's dead? Shall we try and tilt the TV? And I like the speech at the end that the doctor gives about how he deals with grief. It's cool. It's fun. Not fun. It's fucking painful, but it's good. I like it. 8.5. Yeah. Sleep no more.
You have to run this by me.
Now, I've never been one to shit on episodes. Right at this moment, most of the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, they've been Harry, but Harry does remember this one. So for both of our benefits, this one is a 2 at best. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Bad. Firstly, this episode has this really weird thing where it keeps glitching the entire time. Like, it just keeps stuttering on purpose because it thinks it's cool, and it's not. It's annoying. People will just be talking, and you'll just hear like a glitchy noise in the background, and the screen will go for so you can like stop it. I'm trying to listen. Also, it has this. It's about this machine that can basically like you don't have to sleep anymore. It stops you from being able to sleep. Don't care. And then the sleeps in your eyes, make a body and try and kill people. That's the plot. And then like this guy's trying to weaponize it, and that's who keeps glitching your TV at the end. And then he turns into a sleep in your eye and dissolves, and it's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
For your sake, I think we should just move on.
It's bad. Face the Raven. This is the one where Clara dies.
Oh, well. She had a good run.
And here is my unpopular opinion. Have you seen the podcast on like Radio 1 where they do the little come and give the show a popular
yeah.
Something you for now that you've been scared to say. Clara should have died here and stayed dead.
Jesus Christ. I take it she didn't stay died then.
No, we'll get to that in a couple episodes. She comes back, and she should have stayed dead here. This is an episode where Clara tries to be the Doctor, and it backfires horribly, and she dies.
Mm-hmm.
And Maisie Williams is responsible for it. Kind of. Also, the guy from Flatline that she like teams up with for a while, he's in this, and that's who she's trying to save. Also, this is like underground town that Maisie Williams is like the governor of, where like Cybermen and Daleks and like the Ood are just like chilling, having beers in like the middle of London in a street that kind of but doesn't really kind of exist. It's a cool concept. I like this ending for Clara, which is why in a couple episodes time one of them is gonna get a worse rating. I think this is a cool ending. I feel like the other episodes make this worse because it doesn't matter anymore because she comes back.
What are you giving it then?
7.5. Yeah. 7.5. No, 7. No, 7.5. 7.5. This is revisiting these has been painful. Heaven Sent. 10.
Is that the one where he gets trapped?
Yep.
It was a good one.
This episode is awesome. It has this really cool fucking thing where he keeps punching this.
Oh yeah, he keeps dying, but then waking up and punching.
Yeah, it's so good. So good. So good. And this should have been the end of the season. And like I just don't understand how this episode's 10 because I want to move on, but because I want to really I've been talking about the other 2 episodes, but I've really been talking about this last episode. Well, I've been talking about these episodes because this last episode, hell bent. So, after 9 seasons of this new show, we finally get back to Gallifrey. And it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. This is like the equivalent of the end of time, where after 4 seasons, we finally meet. We're back there now. This should be even bigger, even better, and the Doctor just completely avoids anything to do with Gallifrey and just tries to find a way to save Clara, and it works. Like, the Doctor has never really been a character that gets rewarded for when he does stupid stuff. Look at the Waters of Mars. Look at Doomsday. Look at fucking anything. Father's Day, man.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't get rewarded when he tries to cheat death, but this one time he's there like, how about I go save this companion who like did some stupid things, and the show's like, yeah, sure, fuck it, yeah, why not? She can have a Tardis as well, yeah. And then they're like, this is just no. And Gallifrey's back, and he's just like, he becomes a ruler of Gallifrey in a day. I'm like, why?
They must have been impressed with his CV.
How was he qualified for this? He ran away. He's a coward. No, don't like this episode. 5. You also eat soup.
Good soup.
Yeah, no. I gotta be honest. I don't really remember that much of season 10.
And we'll leave it there.
Because I don't really like season 10.
Nothing wrong with that.
I think Bailey's very bland. I think Nardo is very bland. I think Peter Capaldi only really has any chemistry when he's with Missy. Which I think is a shame, because I genuinely think Missy is some of the worst parts of some of the other series.
Yeah.
But that is like the only thing he has to work off. But the ending is good. And if I was to rate the Doctor Falls, it would be a 9. So there's that. Have that.
Have it.
When we come back next time, we will have a name for the podcast, and we will go through all of the different ratings for each season of Doctor Who and each Doctor.
Okay.
But I haven't done that. I said I would, but I didn't.
It's alright, we'll work it out.
And I'm not sorry. So, the scores went down.
Yeah, drastically.
In David's area, we were giving out 9 for 9s and 10s like they were fucking candies.
And as Matt Smith went on, it was either like a 9 or a 6.
The show went downhill.
Yeah. Certainly did.
And it's got to the point where we were rating episodes and we can't rate anymore because we don't remember the episodes specifically anymore.
Because of how bad they were.
Like, I could try here and I could try and rate season 11 and season 12, and I would tell you that the episode with Mary Shelley and the Cybermen was good. I would tell you that Demons of the Punjab is overrated. I would tell you that the Timeless Child is bad, and fucking the Weeping Angels episode in the new season is almost good. But I genuinely couldn't remember the other episodes of these seasons enough to give them a score out of 10 because they're that bad. So yeah.
So yeah. And on that note, we will return next time. Sorry, as for you next time, but for you after the break.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a more of a monotone ending than last time. We're not ending on a high note.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're ending at the point where we stopped watching the show.
Yeah.
So
maybe we'll start with a high or something next time, or we'll try and keep it on a high.
Yeah. Where do you reckon we go next time?
We'll leave that for the listeners to find out, because we haven't even got a fucking clue.
Leave us a comment.
Like the comment and drop a comment in the like button. Thank you.
And join our Discord server. Sign up to our Patreon.
Can we get 10 dislikes on this? That'd be amazing. Thank you.
Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn notifications off.
Ring my bell. I mean, ring that bell.
Go back and watch the episodes. Tell us that we're wrong.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear that.
We love it. We'd love to hear the saltation.
And, yeah, we'll see you when we see you.
Yeet.
Bye.
Take the lead on this one.
Have you ever thought about building a website? With Wix, you can build your own website from scratch. And how I don't know, fucking sell organs or some shit.
I wasn't exactly. Squarespace is a website builder as well.
You could also do that or whatever, man. Fucking, this is an ad. 20% off. Go fucking buy them. Hashtag it.
Discount code. Use views for 15% off. Thank you.
Alright, that's fucking it. We're going now. We're leaving. We're done.